going on, fellow hunters? Welcome back to the channel. I want to make a quick video today kind of going over everything I've got for my one sticking gear list. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of one stick, but I've got my system kind of set up in a very specific way, and everything kind of has its own purpose, if not multiple purposes. So if you're wanting to get into one sticking this year, go check out Stags in the Wild. He's got an awesome playlist that's got all kinds of stuff on one sticking. He's got his gear list, which is pretty much identical to mine, because that's where I got everything. That's where I got my entire gear list from. So we'll go ahead and we'll just start off with the stick. All right, so this is a 12-inch Ultimate One Stick from Eastern Woods Outdoors. I've got the Ultimate Platform and the Ultimate Lower Step, both of which I hand painted myself. And I put a gear tie down in the cam cleat, and that seems to work really well as far as silencing the cam cleat. I tried a couple different types of cordage, but I just didn't seem to like them very much. It's got a 3-step altimeter with the pack and play. I got the steps set to 15 inches each. So far I'm really digging this stick, because it's going to replace all 4 of my tethered one sticks and the Predator platform that I was using last year. And this thing's relatively light. I mean, it's like 5.8 pounds. So then, as far as what I've got going on in my saddle. So growth hitched over here on my left side. I have a lineman's belt just in case I need to go around a limb or something. And I've just got a Prusik on it at the moment. I do have a Calm Duck that I am going to replace the Prusik with, but I had an oval carabiner that I ended up putting over here in this one, so I've got to get another oval carabiner to finish this up and take that Prusik off. And then I've got my Hiss strap. I used that all last season, and I used this saddle all last season. The Hiss strap, I really enjoyed that. It's really quick, and this thing balls up super small, right? You can just hang all kinds of stuff off of it when you get up in the tree. And then I've got my Hero clip. Now this thing is kind of sketchy sometimes, right? So you don't have a whole lot of real estate when you're hanging your bow off of there. So I'll probably end up switching to something else this year. There's a couple different options, but I'll probably end up replacing this just because I've never had an issue where it like fell off, but I felt like sometimes if the wind blew really hard, you might lose a bow. So probably end up replacing that. And then I also have just a backup carabiner and then a hollow block. Alright, so that way I can back up my rappel device. On the outside pocket, I have my little wind checker. And I have 40-foot of Dynaglide with a couple S-beaners on it, and that is my bow pull-up rope and then my retrieval rope. And then over here, so right on the top I have my Mad Rock Safeguard and then my oval carabiner. Right, so I did have that through the Calm Duck on my lineman's belt, but I took it off so I could use it for the Mad Rocks. I had a regular tethered one in there, and it's just, you can get it in there, but they're just not very user friendly compared to that. And I waited a long time for these things to come back in stock, so I'm glad to finally see these things start coming back in stock and being a decent price, right? I overpaid a little bit. I paid about $105 for mine, so I did see them go on eBay last year for like $200, and there was no way I was buying one, so I waited around for that. That was one of the main reasons why I didn't start one sticking until this year. And then as far as the rope, so I'm going to be using 40-foot 9mm Canyon Camo Elite, and I really like this rope. It's super pliable and flexible. I mean, look at this. It packs up real nice. I definitely wanted something that was going to stay in spec with the Mad Rock. So on the end, I ended up going with the Delta Quick Link, and I used a scaffold knot, and I went ahead and tied it to the end. And then as far as the tether locker goes, I could have used a gear tie, but I went ahead and picked up the Flexiome from Innovating the Outdoors. This thing's pretty freaking sweet too. Once you get your tether locked in, you actually clip your retrieval rope on it, and you can leave it up in the tree, and then when you get down, you pull it, it pops off, and then you can pull your rope down with it. So this 40 foot of rope wraps up pretty tight. Like I said, it's super flexible, very manageable. And that's pretty much my gear list going into 2022 so far. So I skipped over the saddle because I know that I'm not going to be going into 2022 with my Phantom. I used it all last year, and I really did like it, and it's relatively comfortable. I think, I haven't sat in a whole lot of saddles. There's a couple mobile hunting expos coming up this year that I'll get a chance to sit in a few more, so that'll be nice as well. But like, if I had one, well, I guess maybe two main gripes about the Phantom. It's just that, and I'm a relative, and I'm a pretty small person, but I feel like this thing is like 2 inches too short, right? So when I get it on and I pull it down to where it's comfortable on the top, it digs right into the crease of my butt cheek, and then if I pull it down right below my butt cheek, then it's a little too low on my back. So it needs to just be like 2 inches taller, and I think it would be perfect for me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but that's kind of one of my main comfort complaints. I never really had any kind of hip pinch. It was more like it was always digging in my butt cheeks. And then my second kind of main complaint, but it's also like a really awesome thing at the same time, is these comfort channels, right? So it's really nice to be able to just kind of adjust where you want in order to adjust the pressure from the top to the bottom of the saddle. But what ends up happening sometimes, especially now that I started one sticking, is like once you get up there, once you start putting some pressure in your saddle, you can accidentally get it into one of these weird comfort channels, and then you kind of lean back and it ends up popping, or like it'll pop into place. And when it does that, it scares the poop out of you. You know what I mean? It's just, as soon as it shocks and it pops into place, you think you're going down for half a second. So that's kind of my other complaint with it, is just that the comfort channels sometimes scare the crap out of you if you're not paying attention, and then it just feels like the back is just a little bit too short for me. So as far as the saddle that I'm going to be going into this year with, you'll just kind of have to stick around to see what I got coming. I'll give you a couple hints, right? It's going to take me about 4 to 6 weeks to get it, and I got it custom ordered, so I got to pick kind of exactly what it looked like. And the style of saddle that I've got coming has an expandable seat, right? So it's a custom saddle with an expandable seat. But as far as what it actually is, you'll just kind of have to stick around and hang out and see what the new saddle ends up being. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If you got any questions, go ahead and drop a comment below. I'll put a link down below to Stags in the Wild, so you can go check his channel out. I mean, it's awesome. He's way more experienced than any of this kind of stuff than I am. But just in case you kind of wanted to know what I was going into this year with, there it is. There's my gear list. Thanks for watching.